Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. Today I'm looking at more housing items as I'm recovering from my cold. I feel a lot better, by the way, so thank you for all of the well wishes we had last week. I'm feeling a lot better, getting back up to speed with things. So first of all, let's talk about sinks. Yes, sinks. So for housing, making a sink has always been something that people have strived to do. The first iteration of which was a basin made out of a table, and then clipped into that there was a bowl. So a lot of food, produce, housing items created a bowl, and once you ate all of the food out of the bowl, it would leave behind a bowl with nothing in it. If you clip that into a table, you could make your sink. And that was the first sink. That's the history of sinks in housing. People have wanted to do that for a long time. Since then, of course, Square Enix have added a bunch of sinks to the game. Of course, we've got the wash basin in the middle there, which actually turns on and has running water, which is fantastic, including with some plumbing. Very nice. That's the sort of thing you would expect in, like, I don't know, like a fancy house or something. We've got the antique sink over here, which is basically a huge basin where you would wash things with a little plug hole and like a trough thing. Very cool stuff. And then since then we've had the Charlian basin, which has all sorts of accoutrements to it, such as plates and cups and towels. It's really, really nice. Well, the latest one then in 6.3 is the Simple Sink. The Simple Sink then is an armor craft recipe, weirdly enough, which is level 90, basic level 90 armor craft recipe. No masterwork required, typical recommended 2805 craftsmanship. This uses 4 Chandrai ingots, 4 Phrygian gold ingots, and 7 ironwood logs. And it makes a really cool looking item. Let's have a look at this. It says a small and practical wash basin. So this is in the same vein as the other wash basin, but it's simple. It's not as elegant as the other one, but that's a good thing. If I could click on it, there we go. And it's as simple as that. Look at that. So this instantly, to me, screams something that I've seen from like The Sims before. The reason I say that is because of that simple sort of unit design that you would expect from like a kitchen unit, or I guess even a bathroom unit. But it's really good, isn't it? Really good. And of course we've got a turning handle, sprigot, or whatever you want to call that. We've got ourselves the actual turny bit, the spout. And then we've got a wonderful sink in here with a plug hole. Plug comes separately, obviously. And of course, we've got a little cupboard. So unlike this, we actually have the plumbing hidden, which is a really cool option. And I think a lot of people will flock to this. It's quite cheap to make as well, which makes it really good. The one thing I will say is that it doesn't have any interaction, which is really disappointing considering this one does. I thought we were going to go forwards with this kind of thing, because that RP value of turning the water on and off is incredibly valuable to people. What is stopping people from clipping this into a cupboard? Actually nothing. It's really, really simple to do. I mean, all you would need to do is have a slightly lower table than this, but you'd be able to clip that in, right? If it was slightly lower, and then you've hidden all that plumbing, and you've got a working faucet, basically. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in that, so that's the first thing. Visually, though, it is absolutely fantastic. It is a physical item, so we can, of course, jump on this, as usual. Yeah, it's decent scale as well, really decent scale. So I'm pleased with this one, but it could have been better. But you know, that could be said the same for any housing item, really, isn't it? So let's look at this together in terms of how it dyes, because of course this is a dyeable furnishing, and we can dye the main wood color, which should be no surprise. It looks better, I think, in brighter colors or wood grain, sort of usual brown textures. But if you want to match this to other units, it shouldn't be too difficult. A lot of the furniture items in this game have very different colored woods, so it is nice to have dyeability on this one to match it to other kitchen units. yeah, you can make a really cool looking space. So if you've been working with something that, you know, you've clipped together to make look like a sink and you don't care about it running or not, this is probably the best option now for looking like a kitchen sink and stuff like that. Very cool stuff. And if you were wondering how things looked from behind there as well, yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, all in all, there's not much to talk about. It is a very simple craft. Many people have probably already got this. Let me know if you've got this, if you find this this useful. Of course, if you're a Lalafell, you're going to need more than just a step stool to wash the pots. I think that's a Lalafell ploy at the end of the day. You know, you have a really big dinner, and people are like, all right, so who's washing up? And the Lalafell's like, oh, well, I can't reach. Yeah, that's the reason you play Lalafell, so you don't have to do any of the washing up. I've decided. All right, much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.